Well, today we're going to be going over Udemy course, particularly Python for data science with real exercises. So just to give a bit of background about me and this channel. So this channel, Alternative Education, basically the basis of it is personally as somebody who's currently enrolled in post-secondary institution, post-secondary education, and I've done, this will be the second degree I'm working to obtain. Now, mind you, I didn't complete my first degree. I was in the midst of completing it, but I figured I was a little bit more passionate about finance than I was science, which is kind of funny that I'm now learning data science in my spare time, but I guess that's a topic for another video or just a different topic in its entirety. But anyway, so what really drew me to the course was the fact that in finance, there's a lot of computation, there's a decent amount of math, and it's inevitable that you're going to have to compute a large amount of numbers at a relatively decent speed. Now, mind you, I'm not naive. I'm aware that C++ is, a really low level, quick language, whereas Python's higher level and not as fast as C++. But there's a lot of libraries that you can use using Python that make it really efficient and you could learn at a relatively decent speed. And if you're not necessarily, I guess you can say, inclined as a programmer or programming's not your forte, or even if you're just new to programming, Python's a great place to start because you get the opportunity to really delve into the language. It doesn't take too long to learn. You can build your basic programming concepts down, such as understanding the difference between a loop, how to make a function, just simple concepts like variables, uh, nested for loops. I mean, whatever the case is. So, what really drove me to this course was, again, my interest in finance, particularly algorithmic trading. There's libraries such as NumPy and Pandas, as well as Matplotlib, which are very commonly used in quantitative finance and the algorithmic trading sector, particularly for visualizing charts, and NumPy for doing computation, right? So it's all data analysis, data science, essentially. So now that you kind of got a concept as to who I am, so you can kind of see, okay, do I have similarities to this individual? Is this course right for me? You can see where I'm coming from and what decisions or what perspective I have, which has led me to want to purchase this course. Now, first thing I want to show you guys here is I want to actually show you that I am indeed someone who completed the course. Just because, of course, if I were to review it and I didn't complete the course, that would be a little silly. So if we're looking here in the top left, sorry about the loading here, guys. It's just a little slow. There we go. Perfect. So you can see here in the top left, I finished 97% of the course. Now, mind you, I did complete 100%, but the beauty of these Udemy courses is the instructors actually will upload more content as time goes on. It might be homework that you can do. It might be, sorry about that, guys. Uh, okay. It might be homework. It could be anything for that matter. They'll upload more content. So I did complete it, but I'm now not completed due to the fact that obviously they've uploaded more. So talking about the course and if I think it's worth it, what it covers. So first I'm going to go over what it covers. So it goes over mainly three libraries. The libraries are NumPy. The second library is Pandas, and the third library is Matplotlib. So Pandas is like basically an Excel sheet. So it's a data frame. You have your columns, you have your index. It literally looks like an Excel. So that's really what Pandas is, and you store data in Pandas. What makes Pandas really powerful is you can manipulate data really fast. So you might have a really large data frame, and you could filter the data so that only one column of data is being shown. Or you could be, or to be more specific, let's pretend you have a data frame and it's a bunch of different stocks. So on the index, you're looking at, a bunch of different ticker symbols. We'll say Apple, Tesla. We'll say, Google, common companies we all know. And then across on the columns, let's just pretend we have, what would be a good example? We have the PE ratio. We have your current ratio. We have your the price of the stock. So let's pretend you're only interested in companies that have a PE ratio below 15, just for example. Using pandas, it's really quick to manipulate that data and then take a peek at all of the securities that meet your requirement or your filter. And that's really the power of pandas. It's really quick to use. Of course, with data science, a lot of it is question testing hypotheses, right? Is it true indeed that this stocks under this price range do the following? And of course, once you then find your securities that you're interested in, you could then use the other libraries which this course discusses, which would be Seaborn and Matplotlib, to visualize your data. Now, just to be clear, Seaborn is talked about much more in this course than Matplotlib. So if you're more of a Matplotlib person, this course is still good, but it's not going to go into the depth using Matplotlib that you might be interested in. Okay, so if you're going to buy this course, just bear in mind it's going to be mostly Seaborn. Still going to cover Matplotlib, mainly Seaborn. Now, what person do I think is best to sign up for this? Now, I would say you want to have some level of understanding how to code. You want to have some background. Now, mind you, you don't need a background. It's not a necessity, but my perspective is whenever I'm learning a topic, I always like to gain as much information from the niche as opposed to the broad aspect of it, right? So I don't want to necessarily take a data science course and then spend half the time in the data science course learning to program in Python. That's just me personally. Now, it's not like the programming is insanely advanced, but the better you understand how to code, the easier it's going to be, right? So there's actually another course that from Udemy that I'm actually going to link in the description that I also liked, that actually teaches you how to build a couple of things in Python. One of those things being actually a little database that stores information about books. And I made that, and I can actually show you that, which is pretty cool. Course is a good one. And I feel like getting the fundamentals of how to code is a little better than just jumping right into data science. But again, so just to make it quick and short and sweet, remember if you're going to buy this course, you need a little bit of a base of Python, not much, but it's not a necessity. Now, as you can see, in terms of the course length, we're talking 11 hours, so a healthy amount of information. 68 lectures. It says, like I said, it says all skill levels, but I still think that just having a little bit of program is good. A little bit of Python under your belt is good. And actually, what I'm going to do here, now that you guys kind of get a concept of what the course offers and my thoughts on it, I'm going to actually show you something from the course. So what you're looking at here, this is a pandas data frame, and as you can see, like I discussed with the index and the columns along the top, we have the country name, we have the country code, we got the birth rate, internet users, income group, etc. And this is, like I said, it looks really similar to an Excel sheet, this pandas data frame. And I'm actually going to show you a really cool visualization. Now, mind you, there's a whole lot of different visualizations you're going to do in the course. It's quite fascinating, really, how easy it is too, because a lot of the visualizations honestly are like one line of code. So I'm not going to show you everything, of course, because I mean we would just be here for too long. But yeah, I'm just going to show you some of the things here. So this is what you're looking at here. This is a box plot. So when it comes to box plots, I mean, as you can imagine, the middle portion is the median, or rather, yeah, well, it is the median. And then each portion of the box is the quartile. So you're looking right here. This is one quartile that my mouse is moving and looking at. This is another quartile. And then this outer portion is another quartile. So it kind of gives you a concept as to where most of the data lays for a particular income group, which you can see here at the bottom. And you could see that lower income, I guess you could say individuals, tend to spend less time on the internet than higher income individuals. So it's just interesting to see how easy that was. And look at the line of code it took to do that. It was one line of code, right? And again, this is obviously just research for fun, but you could imagine if you're doing it for actually algorithmic trading or quantitative finance, how beneficial it could be to be able to quickly like visualize data in one line of code. It's pretty useful. I'll say that personally. And then, anyways, discussing the birth rate times internet use, that's actually what I wanted to show you guys. So you can see here clearly that the more someone uses the internet, the less children they tend to have. This is like what percentage of the population uses the internet. See here, it's 0%, 20%, 40%, 60%, etc. When we're getting closer to the 100% of the population of the internet, you can see that people usually tend to have less children. Now, in terms of the sources of the data sets, I know that's obviously something I guess you'd be really interested in as a viewer. And he gets some of the data sets from different well-known sources. Off the top of my head, if I remember correctly, um, some of them were government websites. So it's not like he's just making this stuff up. You're getting legitimate data here to play with. And again, it's really good. Another good thing about the course, I will say in closing, because I don't want to make this review too long, because I mean, if you're already interested in data science, I mean, I don't think that you're going to be much of the stuff I'm saying. You're probably going to already know, but for the most part, um, one of the really good things about the course is the fact that he usually tends to go over errors. So he'll make an error, which might be by accident, but sometimes I can tell he's doing it on purpose to teach. And you'll look at the error and he'll explain why the error occurs. And I found this really useful going on as a programmer, not just in data science, because sometimes you get an error and you have to go on Stack Overflow or you have to go on different websites to figure out what the problem of the error was. But when you're watching a video and it's a 10-minute video, and after 10 minutes you know what the error is and you can avoid it going forward, it's really useful and it helps prevent having those same errors in the future. Anyways, you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I didn't want to make this video too long, like I said, because I mean, it's 11 hours of content. I could really go on for a while. Like I said, they also have, we also went over some basketball analysis, which was pretty cool. Um, really cool, actually, in my opinion. Just want to quickly show this visualization. And what we're looking at here is the salary of different basketball players. Now, mind you, each of these numbers represents a particular player. I'd have to go up to the top to show you the different players, but yeah, this is actually a good one here. We got the years in the salary, which is cool. These are millions, by the way, of course. But yeah, so again, I mean, this course offers a lot. I mean, we're going over basketball data here. Here we're going over the income times the birth rate, a bunch of variety. Now, in terms of the price, I think I'll quickly go over that. So when it comes to Udemy courses, they tend to go on sale pretty frequently. Um, this course can cost you $200, but it's usually around $10 to $20. So bearing in mind, like I said, it can cost $200, but it's usually $10, $20. So you just can wait for a sale, you can get it. I left a link in the description for the other course that I was discussing regarding Python that I feel like is a really good base to build to get to the point where you at least have a basic understanding of Python, right? Because, like I said, you don't want to just rush into it. And then I'll also leave a link in the description for this course. If I were to give this course a scale of 1 to 10 as a rating, I'd give it 8.5. I'd say 8.5, 9. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because they don't use matplotlib as much. Now, mind you, this is not the only course I've taken. I've taken other courses, so I've used matplotlib more. I do have a preference to Seaborn due to its simplicity, but it would have been appealing to spend more time using matplotlib just to kind of be diversified. Now, mind you, it's not a big deal if you're a beginner, but I'm sure as you go on, you'll want to learn more and more. Anyways, guys, this is Alternative Education. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm planning to actually not just do Udemy courses. I'm planning to review books and a lot of other things. So some regarding quantitative finance, algorithmic trading, that sort of thing, and some just regarding topics that have no relation. Actually, books, a bunch of unrelated books. Anyways, have a good one, guys.